to the channel. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Ken, and today we're here to talk about the new Netflix Judd Apatow movie, Bubble. Or is it The Bubble?
The Bubble.
The Bubble. Okay, yeah, The Bubble. I didn't even know Judd Apatow was coming out with a new movie.
I know you didn't. I told you about it.
Yeah, so you told me about it, and then when I saw it, I vaguely remembered somebody saying something about Judd Apatow making a new movie that was going to be on Netflix, but... yeah, we're going to talk about this movie. I've got some thoughts. I'm pretty sure you do as well. But before we get into it, this is your first time discovering us here on Married with Media. Hit the subscribe button. Yeah. Like this video and let us know what you think of this movie in the comment section below. So I'm going to let you start. Your thoughts.
Okay,
on Bubble, or The Bubble. I'm sorry.
The Bubble. Get it right.
The Bubble.
So we just did our top 5 comedies.
Yeah, and we had some Apatow in there, didn't we?
We did. That's why I brought it up.
We did.
So yeah, one of his films, it was my number 1. Spoiler alert. And so you know, I definitely want to check out anything that he does. You know, they're not always hits, or they don't always work for me, but
yeah, the only one of his movies I don't like as much,
Happy People,
and before this was probably my least favorite, was Funny People.
Funny People.
Happy People, Funny People. Yeah. That was my least favorite, but that now I have a new least favorite. I'll say that. Not to spoil the review.
I was gonna say that's spoiling it a little bit. But yeah, so definitely wanted to check it out for sure, especially since it was on Netflix. You know, we have Netflix, and so I could tell from the poster that it was gonna be a little different, a little out there, and I mean, I wasn't really going into it expecting too much, but yeah,
you expect a certain level of cinematic quality to a Judd Apatow movie. Yeah. And this one didn't have any of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the poster was awful. The poster was awful.
Yeah. So I get that he was definitely going for something here. He was definitely showing Hollywood and making fun of it.
Yeah, somebody I read online compared this to Tropic Thunder. Yeah. Which I could see those comparisons. Only Tropic Thunder is actually funny.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's really interesting because.
And this is very pandemic based as well.
Correct.
Which, you know, the title, The Bubble.
Hence
so
The Bubble,
like,
yeah.
In quarantine.
You know, just like a quick little synopsis of the. Is that what you call it? Synopsis, plot, whatever have you. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. What have you. Yeah, it's essentially about this group of actors who have been making all of these essentially horrible movies together.
Yeah, what was it? Cliff Beast?
Is
that what it is?
Yeah. So they're making like the 6th one,
I think in Tropic Thunder it was like Scorcher or something. But Ben Stiller made like 6 Scorcher movies or something. That was like the opening of that movie.
We're not here to talk about that.
So I'm just showing the comparison.
Okay, all right. Well, so yeah, it's this group of actors. They've been making these Cliff Beast movies together, and then the pandemic hits, and they still want to put out a movie, right? And so they go through kind of the whole process of what I imagine actors actually went through during the pandemic. Yeah. The whole, you know, they would have to get all the actors together, quarantine them in their rooms for 14 days, I think, or maybe it was 10 days, I don't know. And then they could all get together to film the movie, but they had to be, you know, very careful. You know how it was in the very beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah, and then at one point they come out and say somebody had COVID, so we all have to go back in our rooms for 14 days.
Right. So. And so it's definitely just poking fun of all of the things that we've gone through with the pandemic, especially like with actors.
And I don't know about you, but like I know we haven't seen a lot of movies that really have gotten into the pandemic and COVID and stuff like that. But
I mean, we've seen a few shows.
As soon as a movie starts in on that, I just instantly get tired of it and feel like I've seen it like 100 times. Maybe it's because we lived it like recently.
Right.
So it's just all the jokes just don't feel funny, and they all feel old and repetitive at this point.
Well, I feel like, honestly, I
feel like there's been memes on Instagram that are funnier than stuff in this movie.
Right.
I guess what I'm saying.
Yeah. I honestly think maybe it's just too soon to really poke fun at that stuff. Yeah. Not that like we're still sensitive to it. Maybe we are like
we're just so tired of it.
Yeah, it's just
so tired of all the BS. I feel like it's
too soon, as in we're just like over it. Maybe like way in the future we'll be able to be like, whoa, that was
there was a moment in time when it was funny, like maybe 6 to 9 months in, but now like it's been over 2 years, and I think everybody's just tired of it. And so I don't find any of this stuff. This light poking at pandemic procedures and things funny at all. I don't.
Right,
and it's funny. It's not that I'm offended. I just
that's
don't
what I was
going to
say. It's not that like you're offended by it or sensitive to it. It's just that it's just not funny. That's the thing with this movie is
so
that
played out.
Yeah, it's just this movie was not funny. Like there were maybe 2 times where I actually laughed.
The Benedict Cumberbatch thing was kind of funny.
Yeah, there's like a part where they've taken some drugs or whatever, and they start having like each other's faces, like they're hallucinating or whatever.
Yeah.
There was another part too. What is the one woman's actor? She like he would Zoom with her, and she's like.
She was in Ghostbusters 2016. Kate McKinnon.
Yeah.
Kate McKinnon.
Yeah. She's in this. I always think she's funny. I don't know, just the way she's acts.
She's just so dumb.
Yeah.
You can't help it. Like that movie Masterminds that we watched with Zach Galifianakis. Like that's the dumbest comedy, but like it's.
I think it has to do with like her like facial expressions.
Yeah, she is funny. She is.
Yeah.
Funny.
She's funny, and so like the parts that she was in were kind of funny.
The movie has a killer cast. I mean, there's a lot of people
That's
in
another
it.
interesting thing is that it has what you would think to be a good cast. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say that any of them are like my favorite actors or anything.
No, you got David Duchovny from the X-Files. You got Judd Apatow's wife, who's in like every one of his movies. What's her name? Leslie Mann.
Come on now, you know her
your
name.
twin. You got Karen Gillan.
Not physically, but
yeah, you got Karen Gillan in this movie for Nebula from Guardians of the Galaxy, and she was in Jumanji.
You're forgetting the Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian, Pedro Pascal's in the movie.
Yeah, you've got Judd Apatow's daughter. I think her name is Iris.
I didn't recognize her till there was like 20 minutes left, and you're like, I can't believe you didn't recognize that was his daughter.
I thought he knew the whole time that it was her.
I know his other daughter because we've seen Euphoria, and I just know what she looks like grown up, but I didn't recognize the little kid.
Yeah, I don't know. It just all in all, it just wasn't great acting. I get what he was trying to do. But like the jokes, they just didn't land for me. They were just kind of meh.
And it was a very soft, like gentle tapping at like the elite Hollywood, I guess.
Yeah.
It just feels like, okay, privileged Hollywood director that's going to make fun of privileged Hollywood actors and directors. Mm-hmm. So that whole thing just didn't land for me.
No.
Didn't land for me at all.
Definitely not. I was definitely, like I said, I wasn't expecting a lot, but at the same time, I was disappointed. I was hoping for a little bit better than that.
I mean, when you think about Judd Apatow, he's made some of my all-time favorite comedies, like A 40-Year-Old Virgin, Knocked Up. And even recently, I really liked The King of Staten Island. I watched it. Yeah. I didn't like it as much the first time. I mean, I did like it, but when I watched it the second time, it really grew on me.
Right. This one just had no, heart, no,
Yeah, and that's another trademark of Apatow. He always has some kind of, heart to it and some kind of emotional beats.
Yeah, and maybe
it's always real silly and slapstick, but there's always something that hooks you in emotionally.
Yeah,
and this didn't have any of that.
It could just be that he wanted to do something just not what he normally does. I don't know.
And I said it as soon as we started it, the runtime. Way too long for this type of movie, but this is an Apatow trademark. He always makes his films way too long.
Well, let's be real; it's everyone's trademark now.
I asked you when it first started, though, didn't I? I said, "How long is this?" And you said it's over 2 hours. I was like, "There you go." I was like, "This is for even this silly, stupid concept and premise. He still has to indulge and make it over 2 hours."
Yeah,
which it did need to be.
Yeah, I mean, in closing thoughts. I do not recommend watching this. Do not waste your time.
I wouldn't waste your time.
No.
I mean, it's on Netflix. Even if you have Netflix and it's there to turn on, it's not worth it. I can't recommend this at all.
No.
I would give this, I don't even know if I've ever given this score on this channel, but I would give this a 1. I would give it a straight 1 out of 5.
Oh, come on.
I think it was maybe a 1.5. I'll be nice and give it a 1.5. That's all I can give it. I'm telling you, it's not good at all.
Wow. Okay.
Like maybe a couple light couple light chuckles at best.
Okay.
It's just not a good movie. It's way too drawn out.
All right.
So yeah, definitely the worst Apatow movie by far.
Yeah.
By a mile.
I'm not gonna go quite as harsh. I'd give it a 2.5 star.
2.5. That's a lot more fair.
I mean, we finished it.
Yeah.
We did break it up into 2 nights though.
I'm just saying for the creative force that's behind it.
Yeah.
Like, and what you're expecting, a certain level of quality, and what you got, like, it's just it's bad.
But I'm trying to be a little understanding.
You're being nice. I get it.
I'm trying to be a little bit understanding in the fact that maybe this is what he wanted.
Maybe he just wanted to make a horrible Netflix movie to lower everybody's standards.
We know what he's capable of. And so I think he was just trying to do something really stupid. And
there's recent reports that they're going to do This Is 50, which we already talked about. I'm just hoping this is not an indication that he's lost it as a director and a writer too, because he wrote this as well.
Yeah. So there you have it, guys. Do not check this movie out.
Don't check it out. This is a no recommendation, not even for free.
This bubble has bursted.
Nice. I like it. But appreciate you guys watching. Like this video. Comment down below your thoughts on this movie if you watched it, and any other comments you have. Yeah. And we'll see y'all later.
Yeah. Bye, guys.